Employer Nomination Visa 186 for migrating to Australia permanently. The 186 visa, also known as the Employer Nomination Scheme, ENS, visa, is a permanent residency visa in Australia. The visa is designed to enable Australian employers to sponsor skilled workers from overseas to work in Australia. The visa has two streams, the Temporary Residence Transition Stream and the Direct Entry Stream. The Temporary Residence Transition Stream is for people who have worked for their employer on a temporary visa for at least 3 years in the same occupation. This stream is for people who are already working in Australia and who have demonstrated their skills and commitment to their employer. They must also meet English language and health requirements. The temporary resident visa that is generally issued as part of the Subclass 186 visa application process is the Subclass 482 Temporary Skill Shortage (TSS) visa. This visa allows the skilled worker to work in Australia temporarily while their application for the Subclass 186 visa is being processed. The TSS visa can be granted for up to 4 years, depending on the occupation and the terms of the employment agreement. The direct entry stream is for people who have not worked for their employer in Australia before, or who do not meet the requirements for the temporary residence transition stream. This stream is for people who have been nominated by their employer and have the required qualifications and work experience for the position. They must also meet English language and health requirements. To be eligible for the 186 visa, applicants must be sponsored by an employer who is an approved sponsor with the Australian government. The employer must also nominate the applicant for the visa and demonstrate that they have a genuine need for the position and that they have been unable to find a suitable Australian worker to fill the role. The 186 visa allows the visa holder and their family members to live and work in Australia permanently. Visa holders can also access Medicare, the Australian public healthcare system, and are entitled to social security benefits, including education and training, and may be eligible for Australian citizenship. The Subclass 186 visa is an employer-sponsored visa that allows skilled workers to live and work in Australia permanently. The skills assessment required for the Subclass 186 visa application depends on the occupation of the skilled worker and the stream of the visa they are applying for. Temporary Residence Transition Stream. For this stream, a skills assessment may not be required, as the skilled worker would have already been assessed as part of their previous Subclass 457 or Subclass 482 visa application. Direct Entry Stream. For this stream, a skills assessment is generally required, and the type of skills assessment required depends on the occupation of the skilled worker. Generally, the skills assessment must be conducted by a relevant assessing authority recognized by the Australian government for the occupation. Agreement Stream. For this stream, the skills assessment requirements depend on the terms of the labour agreement and the occupation of the skilled worker. The Australian government has designated various assessing authorities to conduct skills assessments for different occupations. These assessing authorities have their own websites and application processes, and it's important to carefully review the requirements and guidelines provided by the relevant assessing authority for the occupation. The following forms are generally required to be completed as part of the 186 visa application process. Form 1404. This form is for the employer to nominate the position for which they want to sponsor the skilled worker. Form 80. This form is for the skilled worker to provide personal information, including details about their employment history, education, and character. Form 1221. This form is for the skilled worker to provide additional personal information, such as their travel history. Form 956. This form is for the skilled worker to authorize a migration agent, if they are using one, to act on their behalf. Form 956A. This form is for the employer to authorize a migration agent, if they are using one, to act on their behalf. Form 1196. This form is for the skilled worker to demonstrate that they have met the relevant English language requirements. Form 80, Form 1221, and Form 1196 are typically required for all skilled migration visa applications, not just the Subclass 186 visa. The official website of the Australian Department of Home Affairs provides access to all the forms required for visa applications, including the forms required for the Subclass 186 visa. You can find these forms on the department's website at https://imi.homeaffairs.gov.au/